Nation? Welcome back to the Bros.
Bros. Whoop, bing.
You're a little slow
Oh,
there, but it's all right.
it's okay. All good. All good. Hey,
How are you?
nice shirt there.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
It's not like I didn't notice. I mean, I wanted to act surprised, but hey, look, we're wearing the same shirt. Not.
Well, not you have one extra star than I do.
I have 3 stars, my friends. Take a look at it.
One, two, three, and might I say, three is better than two.
3 is better than 2, and a lot of. Anyways, anyways, yes. But it's been a week.
It's been a it's been only a week, but it feels forever since we've been here. And might I say, it's been sad. I'm happy to be back and talking all things RSL with you guys.
Well, I mean, let's be real here, and I'm gonna probably get in trouble for this. We haven't been out as long as some other people. We're here every week. Just this time, it
Yeah.
wasn't a twice a week.
Yes, that's true. It felt like it was a shorter week since Monday was Labor Day, and now it's already the weekend tomorrow. So I'm like, oh wow, where did this week go?
Though the beginning of my week wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So the stomach bug went through our family.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. And so I got it. The wife got a little bit of it. Um, I think I got the worst out of it, but I can't remember if one of the other kids got some of it, but it was no bueno, my friend. No bueno.
It's okay. You're healthy. You're good. You're here tonight. So, knock on wood.
Well, I'm not gonna knock on too much wood. I'm glad I'm feeling better. Glad enough to feel better to be with you guys, to talk some soccer, because there's soccer to talk about.
Yeah,
Always.
even though RSL does not play this weekend, we still got soccer. We gotta go back. We gotta go back in time. We gotta talk about last Saturday's game, winning the Rocky Mountain Cup, and then we have some RSL players who played tonight, as well as one more plays tomorrow that we got to go over. So a lot to dive into.
A lot to dive into. But even though I did ask you, how are you? What did you do for Labor Day? I didn't even see you.
Well, I what did I do? I think I just rested. Oh, I've been watching a lot of U.S. Open.
Oh, okay. A lot of tennis. So,
Yeah, I will say the U.S. Open is like where my fandom of tennis comes out. I'm jumping on, oh, not jumping on. I have been. I'm a huge Carlos Alcaraz fan. He is like the next Rafael Nadal. So
all right, yeah. I'm I'm totally down with you liking other sports. Just don't convert to the other sports
no, no, I am I'm strong in the love of tennis,
or the love soccer. Did you say
soccer.
you said tennis?
No, no, it goes soccer always, and then tennis is down there. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Always, always.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to replace a bro.
No, no, no. We're not no, not taking auditions. Not taking auditions yet. Nope.
Oh man. Cool. Let's uh let's get into it because I have a lot of things to mention about this Colorado game. I don't know
For
about
sure.
you, but let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think before we dive into lineups and how this game went, let's give a shout out to the South supporters right here. For that amazing tifo. That literally was something else. It was it was a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication that they put forth in painting and raising that tifo, and it looked amazing. It was something that was fantastic.
Now remind me, what was the tifo that Colorado made for the first game?
It was something very, very similar. I'll have to look back at the picture. The RSL Riot, I believe, on their Instagram or their Twitter, they tweeted out the picture back when we played them. I think in the first leg. So if you look back on their Twitter or their Instagram, they'll have that. But awesome job by our supporters group for making a great tifo in this game.
Right, I think wasn't it was something to the effect of where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yeah, and you get
And
the you get the dumpster, Colorado's name, and you get our cup right above that.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked it. I spoke to you about it. I talked to you about it. I wanted to tweet out on my personal one. Um, there, if everyone saw, there was a stadium that caught on fire in Italy. Well, it didn't catch on fire. The fans burnt the stadium. It was a third division team in Italy that
Uh-huh.
they lost and they were going to get relegated or something like that, and they started burning their their stadium. And I was like, Colorado fans, too soon, too soon. You didn't need to burn the stadium, but we'll just leave it
Oh,
right there for right now.
hey, give them some slack. The that team is struggling bad this season, so
I can't. Yeah, you can't beat the already beaten down. So
yeah, you can't beat the little brother up too much.
too much. But let's talk about how we beat them up this time.
Yeah, yeah. So starting lineup, we have we have Oviedo starting in that left back role, and we normally have Brody playing over there, but they switch spots. Brody was playing in a Nelly's normal spot. Did that surprise you at all to see Brody kind of switch sides?
It surprised me.
Yeah.
And I guess before we go any further, I don't know how I was iffy with the lineup, only
Hmm.
because of Oviedo and Brody, and then
Yeah.
with adding Chang on the wing. But it actually didn't turn out too bad. In fact, I felt that there was a lot of I don't know if it was because of the four-game losing streak
Yeah.
or if it was something else, but there was a lot of urgency in that
Hmm.
game, and I like the way that this group played together that game.
Yeah, I think it was from the previous game. We had Chang start in that one as well, and I see Chang starting in this one against Colorado. I was very hesitant because I was like, he's gonna have the same kind of performance. He's not gonna do great, but he was exceptional. He was way above average, and Musovsky is supposedly, I think he is injured. That's why he probably wasn't in the 18 for this game, and we have Krylok with Chicho up top.
There were some lingering news rumors that there is a slight injury somewhere. Don't know what it is, don't know for how long.
Yeah,
There is something that's not allowing him to play. So don't want to get too deep into that because I'm not all about I actually that's a lie. I'm all about gossip. But when it comes to RSL, I don't want to gossip because that really changes moods and whatnot. So I like this lineup.
yeah. Um, maybe I don't know. Maybe have Luna instead of Chang, but they're both excellent players for separate reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Pablo wanted this group for a certain reason. I can't pinpoint what the certain reason is because I think we're still trying to solve the mystery of Luna Gomez
Yeah.
that I haven't heard anything. I don't know if you have, but I haven't heard anything weird random going around. So something's going on, whether it's a decision by Pablo or something else. But there must be a reason why Luna and Gomez aren't getting as many minutes as they used to.
Yeah, yeah. But let's get right into it of this fantastic game, which it was at the Riot. So where should we begin in this stellar game?
Probably the first minute. That's usually where we start games.
That's always a where the ref does blow the whistle to begin the match.
So the first 10 minutes was a lot of pressure by RSL, a lot of attacking and a lot of pushing forward, which we hadn't seen in the previous four games. It was super nice to see that. Granted, I'm just gonna put this as a huge umbrella. This is a weaker opponent.
I
Okay.
was I was literally about to say that because in the past four games in our losing streak, because we were playing harder teams, we played Houston twice, LAFC. So yes, those are deeper teams higher up in the table, and then we have a Colorado team who they haven't really done any changes in these transfer windows at all. So
Oh, they
Yeah,
did changes all right.
they,
They just
they
got rid of a lot of people.
they did. They did. Their only big transfer that they did this summer was for a left back, who's their leading goal scorer.
Hey, it worked out for them.
It worked out, but they lost some key players in their midfield.
Yeah. Um, so there's a lot of good pressure, like I said, and some good opportunities. In fact, even in the third minute, we had um Chicho going in for a header, like right in front of the goal. We
Yeah.
had shot from Oviedo as well, even though it didn't come up too much. Krylock even had a shot from outside the area, um,
Hmm.
blocked, but we were attacking. That was a good sign.
Yeah.
And I think this game, because it's been said multiple times, came at a good point in this streak where we needed a quote unquote break,
A little, a
and
little, a little bit of pick me up.
well, yeah, this turned into a let's have the U17s practice against the U14s. Let's practice some situations, some what do you call it? Set pieces, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what kind of had an air about it, like I don't know.
And it just seemed in my way because you said that RSL was coming out there like they have something to prove, coming off a 4-game losing streak. But Colorado only winning 3 games this season, their last road win back in May. They just weren't coming out there really trying. They didn't really want it seemed like even a draw on the road at all.
Well, I don't think it's that they didn't want it. I just think that they didn't have the ability to do it. The players that they have right now as they're in their starting 11, I don't
Diego
know.
Rubio.
Rubio's coming off of not playing for a while.
Hmm.
Navarro apparently was supposed to be one of their better players. Um, Gutman, that's the one
He's
that's the one they got.
Yeah, that he's their leading
Yeah,
goal scorer
yeah.
out of
Gutman
Atlanta.
Gutman was probably the better one, which prevented us from doing a lot more than we could have.
Hmm.
I mean, to tell you that the state of Colorado, they're playing Beta Shore.
36 years old playing at right back.
I mean, there's one thing
What
to play a 36-year-old Messi. Another thing is to play a 36-year-old Beta Shore.
when I looked at the starting lineup and I saw Beta I was like, he's still playing in the MLS?
Yes, yes. So, um, yeah. And so, as that half, oh, got something on my tongue. Shoot. As that half went on, um, after those 10 minutes, that's when Colorado kind of settled in, and we had another like 10 minute or yeah, almost 10 minutes of kind of like a lull
Yeah.
of for RSL, where it was just a lot of fighting in the middle for positioning kind of
Yeah.
situation. Um, we then see our first free kick attempt on goal in the 17th minute.
Oh boy. And
The the 17th minute shot wasn't bad at all.
yeah.
It wasn't right at the keeper though. Um,
Yeah.
and so it wasn't a goal. I'm not talking about the goal. It's a, I'm talking about the one before.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, or maybe it was the one after. Maybe I'm confusing the two. But either way, there was
Either
one of
way,
them where Vera had an attempt, and it was a pretty good attempt.
it was a close chance. I think that the one that you're talking about, I think it was afterwards.
The afterwards one sailed high. I remember that. But again, we're talking about how long ago was it? Like 5 days ago? Shoot.
It was 5 days ago.
Probably should have watched the game again. But um now let's talk about the goal. So last game
we
against Portland, we saw
Mhm.
Vera all of a sudden just out of nowhere starts ripping shots from 25 yards out, nails the post, and then nails Chicho for an assist.
Yeah, prior to that Portland game, I would have never had Vera on my bingo card of RSL players to take free kicks. No, not at all.
No.
Because obviously before we had Pablo Ruiz before his injury, he was our free kick taker. It was either Ruiz or Sava. Never would I have thought Brian Vera.
Yeah. And I want to know why. Why not? Why haven't we seen this? Like, do
Like
they not
it
see each other in practice?
well, if you go back in past RSL seasons, never have we ever had a center back as our set piece taker. Can you
Negative.
remember? Like we've never had Olave, we've never had like Borchers, we've never had Glads,
I
Silva.
love how you had to go back 10 years in order to think about the last good center back that we had. Thanks.
No, but like
Um,
for real, it's like I can't think of another center back who has a foot like Vera.
no.
No,
No, nothing comes like right off the top of my head, so no.
no, but just the power and the accuracy to just get that upper corner, that was something else. That was a beautiful shot.
Now, I'm gonna say it wasn't upper corner. In fact, it was straight at the keeper, like right here at his head level. Just the the fact that it came out from behind the wall and going straight over to that side of the goal. I think one, it surprised the keeper how fast it was coming. Two,
Hmm.
he didn't see it until literally half a second before because
Yeah.
he got his hands on it, but the hands were up too late.
And mind you, this keeper, he's normally not the starter because Yarborough is the starter. He's out for injury, I think, for the season. This keeper is 6'3", so he has a huge frame, huge stretch, and still couldn't reach it.
Well, he reached it, like he got it. His reaction time was probably his reaction time was like DJ Countess or Scott
Fact,
Garlic.
facts, facts.
Hashtag facts. Digging into the old RSL bag there. Whoosh.
Whoop.
Um, yeah, that was either way, great goal. And that now boosts his confidence to
Oh,
come up a little bit more and just rip some.
I think also with that goal because we've seen in past games where it's been Glad Vera, Marcelo, or whatever vice versa on our center backs. I think, in my opinion, with that goal, I think that solidifies him as a starting center back.
I'm still okay with rotating people. I really am. Um,
You sure about that? Because we are getting close to the end of the season.
like, listen, I can understand if Vera gets. I mean, they're going to be coming on another stretch of Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah,
So at some point, you're going to see a different um, center back duo. You
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and I bet you when everyone comes back from international duty, you're going to see Lambert in there as well in the rotation.
I sure hope so.
Again, I am dreaming for the Lambert Vera.
Oh, I want that. That would literally be the Twin Towers with how tall and how athletic both of them are.
It will remind me of an Olave Schuler.
Oh,
Oh,
that was a great combo back in the day.
that was another good combo. Man,
Yeah. We've had some great center backs over the
just
years.
just digging into that time capsule, aren't we today? Shoot.
I know, right?
Um, cool. So we haven't even finished the first 20 minutes. Holy crap. Um,
We we're only 17 minutes into the game and there was just like a beauty of a goal.
stop it. The goal was in the 19th minute. I just thought the other free kick that he missed was in the 17th.
Yeah, and somehow MLS fans don't appreciate good goals because it didn't win MLS goal of the week.
Boo. But there were some other pretty good goals.
Yeah, I will give it to the other good goals.
Evander. I think that's the one that won.
Yeah.
Great goal. Um, cool. Let's skip towards to the end of that half,
Hmm.
where Chicho had a couple of good opportunities, like
Yeah.
at the doorstep.
It's like you've got to finish those. You're on a platter, can't finish those. It's like, come on.
I mean, it doesn't help that Colorado's just kind of just throwing people in front of the ball like dead fish, like
You want to stop him? How about you stop him?
here you go. Yeah, they're just hanging 11 guys from the crossbar at that point. Um, so at halftime we get in at 1-0. Um,
Yeah, yeah, 59% possession in the first half, total domination with 225 passes to their 147.
yeah,
Yeah.
and at that point, RSL had only committed 5 fouls, and if we remember our conversations from beforehand, the lower amount of fouls that RSL commits, the better they are flowing and playing during the game, generally.
Yeah, agreed.
And so that's what they were doing. They're generally flowing, whereas Colorado was just looking to just stop play, which that's why they got 11 fouls called against them. Um, yeah. So second half, um, so I guess let me throw in this thought here.
Hmm.
What do you think is going through Chicho's mind after having a couple of shots in that first half, not being able to break the barrier there? He's had 3 goals in 6 games. Well, now it's 3 goals in 6 games for
Yeah,
RSL.
yeah.
At that point, it was 2 goals in 5 games.
Hmm.
Do you think there's some kind of frustration with Chicho?
I would say partially. We look back at the League's Cup game. He wasn't doing great against LAFC, and then in the Open Cup against Houston twice. He was in that little bit of a rut. He was getting shots but no goals. And then we see in that first half, same kind of thing. He's getting those things but not being able to finish chances. But I think once he scores this goal in the 49th minute, I think he had a little bit of a switch, and we see what, what a different side of Chicho.
So is this a Chicho issue, or is this a the other nine? I'm not counting the keeper. The other nine issue.
I would say it's everybody as a whole. Um,
So you're counting
eh,
everyone. All 11. It's all your fault.
eh, I don't know. Like, wouldn't you agree? Like, it's partially I wouldn't say it's fully on the fact of Pablo being injured, but there just has been everything not jiving well with him being out.
I think that Chicho's expectations were here. RSL's level was here. We
Yeah.
just need to fill in that gap of Chicho's expectation of how the team should play with him. And
He's going from playing with LAFC, winning Supporter Shield and MLS Cup to now
well,
us.
and I mean, we talk about them winning Supporter Shield and MLS Cup and whatnot, but how did they do it? They had a good midfield support. They also had another good striker forward next to him. So
Yeah.
the the parts were there. Here, you take away our key midfielder right now, the one that's been giving all the good assists. You take him away. You don't have a good partner striker right next to him. So Chicho's for me has been kind of been left in no man's land.
And then his partner up top, Musovski, he's out for injury. So,
Heck,
and
I
then he's
can't even
just
you can't even say that Musovski is probably the best lineup or best pairing for Chicho anyways. I don't think anyone on RSL really is a like a fit for Chicho, to be honest.
yeah, it's sad, but it's the honest truth because Krylak hasn't been really that best partner with him in these past couple of games up top.
Now, it's not like he hasn't been the best. We're doing with what we have, really.
Agreed. Yeah.
But it's just hard when you have someone like Chicho who we paid so much money for. He has so much
Hmm.
expectations to come in, score goals, win everything, and man, we're just leaving him hanging dry sometimes. Like we kick the ball and we're like, go. And you're like, hey, well, I'm thinking like, no. You see now he's playing a 1-on-5, one on
Yeah.
four. Like, what do you expect him to do with the ball?
People are just literally sitting back and just expecting him to be able to play like Messi, but he can't do that.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a really random tangent. It just came to my head.
No, no, I've been thinking that exact same thing these past couple during that 4 games losing streak, and then I guess in that first half as well. So hopefully with this goal, it just flips a switch for Chicho the rest of this season.
I mean, we can hope, but again, this was just a set piece goal. So we get we in fact there's 2 corners in a row. First corner
Mhm.
was a short corner.
Yeah,
It was a Sava to Chang. Chang crosses it in. It was almost a good goal scoring opportunity.
it
Um,
was.
I can't remember who was on the back post, but someone was on the back post, headed in towards Chicho, and
Mhm.
Colorado clears it out. And then that's the following corner kick was the Chang whipping it in. And
That was
man,
a that was an excellent taken free corner kick by Chang because normally we'd see maybe Saba taking those, but Chang steps up and produces a great corner kick and just right over to Chicho.
great ball position for that
Hmm.
corner kick. Also, the muscles on Chicho, he was basically wrestling with Beta Shore.
Right?
Beta Shore, first off, Beta Shore had his back to the corner kick. He wasn't going to know when to jump, so that was an advantage for Chicho. Um, but he was also just it was just like arm wrestling, just back and forth. Um, then on top of that, another Colorado defender comes in, just bulldozers him as he's heading it, just whips his head and gets bulldozed at the same time. It was a
Yeah.
great job by Chicho. I mean, that's what we pay. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah. That's his second goal with us off of a set piece, and it was a great one.
Yeah, super good. Like you can't say too much about it besides the fact that uh great body
Great
for that one.
body, great ball, great finish. What more can you ask for from Chicho? More goals, obviously, but
Score more goals.
so 2-0, 49th minute. 10 minutes later is when RSL sees our first change of the game. We see Chang, who had the assist to Chicho, come out and replace Rubin coming in.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah, yes.
Going back to our conversation about Gomez
So
and Luna.
with that, RSL then goes from playing a 4-4-2 to then a 4-3-3.
That's what you can only assume because Rubin is obviously a forward attacker, and
Hmm.
so if you take him off for Chang or to put him on for Chang, sorry, um, he's not a midfielder, so Rubio has to move up. But the way that Rubio was playing was he was kind of hanging back.
He was.
So it still begs the question, why put in Rubio for a midfielder when you're not going to change the actual
And then
formation?
you also still had Sava in there. So I'm like, you have multiple attacking players in there at the same time.
Because technically you can move Sava up to that three spot in the 4-3-3. So
Uh-huh.
technically we were playing a 4-2-4.
Yeah, yeah. I Interesting choice of substitution. Yeah.
Just kind of just shrug your shoulders, I guess. But we did have a double substitution for Krylock Sava, and in comes Julio and Luna,
which
which
which was very late in my opinion because I wanted to see Luna a lot either start or come in a lot sooner.
I think at this point where I mean we're up 2-0.
But
Um, it's a lot of just maintaining and the feel for the game. And maybe this is a good time to interject. Um, Nima Sagafi is a beloved referee for RSL, isn't he?
he has refed twice here at the Riot, back when we played the Seattle Sounders, and then as well in this match.
He's loved by all RSL fans. He's loved by the RSL organization. In fact, they send him Christmas gifts every year.
Man, he's luckier than I am. Man, what a guy.
Um, so here's my thoughts on Nima. I'm gonna do a slight criticism because referee to referee, Nima. Sorry. Um, this game had a total of 34 fouls.
It did.
34. So you had 21 by Colorado, 13 by us. Um,
Mhm.
when you have 34 fouls in 90 minutes, you do the math. How often does the game get stopped then for a foul?
That's quite frequently. It takes away from just the flow of the game.
You're looking at literally every almost 2.5 minutes, a little over 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
Well, in
that
fact, we'll give an exact minute. We'll do every 2 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that, where play gets stopped for a
that's a
foul.
little excessive because I don't think there really is that many fouls that often.
Well, now talk through it with me. I'm going to ask you questions. What
Okay.
happens to the game when it gets stopped every 2 minutes and 40 seconds?
It's kind of like what I said. That's what the players and coaches will be expecting the rest of the match. And it'll just get very chippy as well.
Well, I'm going to go this route. It's going to get the flow of the game. It doesn't exist. There is no flow. So anytime a team is trying to do a build up, build up, build up, build up, foul, crap. Gotta start over. Build up, build up, build up, build up, foul, crap. Gotta start
Yeah.
over. So there's a lot of things that you're thinking like, crap, that many fouls, and the card count didn't really match the foul count either. Because if you're looking at yellow cards,
We only have
Colorado,
five. We had five in the whole game.
yeah, five in the whole game, so three for Colorado. So three cards for 21 fouls. That's one
Hmm.
card for every seven fouls. Two cards for us from 13 fouls. That's one card every six-ish fouls.
Yeah.
Um, the where so I can see where RSL fans get frustrated with Nima, especially when we had him in Seattle. When oh, let me pull this up. There it is. Where in that game, just so everyone knows, there was 15 fouls called against us. So this Colorado game was 13, Seattle
Hmm.
was 15.
Yeah.
Not that much. Not that many more fouls.
It
And
was
in
pretty. Yeah,
fact,
pretty similar.
and in fact, we even had more yellow cards in that Seattle game. We had four yellow cards on 15 fouls, which that seems a little bit more like, all right, yeah, boom, 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 let's knock it off.
For sure.
Um, but this game, and here's my little rant. If you are complaining about Nima calling this many fouls or doing um, a quote unquote horrible job,
Hmm.
I can guarantee you that if you even played soccer or you think you know that enough to be able to referee, you'd be calling the game exactly like Nima. You'd be
I
calling every little thing.
I 100% agree with that because with doing refing for many years, like you and I have, we see parents behind us yelling and criticizing. That's a foul. Be like, oh, if they were calling it, then we'd be stopping the game so many times. So
I mean, how many times have we heard people say, "Hey, call that! Hey, call that!" So what Nima does in this game is literally does what everyone wants him to do. Hey, call that! Okay, boom, called. Hey, why don't you let us play? Look, bro, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
yeah,
Like
this isn't basketball where it's a very touchy sport.
so yes, my criticism to Nima was you ruined the flow of the game for this game. 34 fouls is unnecessary. Two, those of you that complain about Nima all the time, um, you'd be the same kind of referee as Nima if you were to referee. You'd be calling every little thing because you'd be afraid of the game getting out of control
But if you guys want to change that, just sign up and be referees. It's just that simple.
and then get criticized by me.
And then and then and then get criticized by Alan and then get yelled at by parents as well. It's just
uh,
it's just that simple.
yeah, sorry. That was another little rant. Man, I'm full of little rants today. Sorry about that.
It's
Um,
okay. It's okay.
let's finish up this game.
Yeah, so nothing out of the ordinary. RSL just had two more subs to finish it off. Chicho came off in the 87th along with Nelson, and then we get Hidalgo and Anelli coming in just a little wrap up time.
So those ones kind of bugged me because that
You have a
almost felt
you,
like
you have an attacking player coming in and then a defender coming in.
What attacking player? Both of them are defensive.
No, I said Chicho, the attacking player, coming off, and then
Oh,
Bodie, the defensive, coming in, which
yeah.
makes kind of zero sense.
I mean, I can't say zero. In fact, RSL put out a video, the Hablo con Pablo. Um, that's what it's called. Um, and so the
So
Hablo con Pablo,
we need a segment like that on this show.
we do. Um, Diablo con Pablo, um, you could hear him talking to Anelli,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, are you comfortable playing this position?" And Anelli's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So if you look at who he went in for Palacio. So
yeah.
meaning that they put Anelli in as one of the center midfielders, which
Is that a position you would like him to see moving forward the rest of the season, or are you just more comfortable with him playing in that right back?
I'm not sure. In fact, I prefer him to play more defensively, to be honest.
Yeah, I would rather him play keep and just stick where he's comfortable in that right back spot.
Yeah. Well, either way, he made the subs. I thought it was way too defensive. It should have been more offensive, but
Hey, you know what? We got the win, 2-0, and that's another Rocky Mountain Cup for RSL. Make that 14-5 against the Colorado Rapids. Holy crap, 14-5. That is an impressive record.
so that record is kind of like the record that you have or that I have against you beating you up
On FIFA? Yeah, probably.
at wrestling, FIFA, everything.
Maybe. We'll have to have a
I'm
rematch maybe.
I'm a RSL, you're Colorado.
Ooh, those are some fighting words now.
Shots fired. Um, cool. That let's get out of this game because you know you can only beat up the little brother so many times.
Yeah, that Rocky Mountain Cup, they need to change the name to RSL's Cup.
It's the RSL Cup. We just invite Colorado to play.
So,
um, it kind of reminds me of Barcelona's Gamper. Is that what you call it? I think that's what they call it, the Gamper Cup.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
They win it like every year. It's like a friendly, like right before the season starts.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time they even lost it.
Hey,
If they've even lost it.
it's also equivalent to when Tottenham won their trophy this season. They're one of like they haven't won a trophy in years, and finally Tottenham won a trophy against some lower team.
Yeah, poor Colorado. Well, because of this loss, um, so this loss came with a consequence, unfortunately. Because of the lack of wins this season, and not just this season, but for the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, not to
Um,
say it lightly.
even though Colorado will say, "Woot woot, we won the Rocky Mountain Cup in 2020," and they had like one of the best records, I guess, from what I remember in 2020. Um,
Doesn't count. Doesn't
there's an
count.
there's an asterisk there for sure. Um, Colorado did decide to part ways with Robin Fraser. How long was he a coach? 7 6 7 years?
Something like
No,
that. Yeah.
5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So they did part ways with him because of the many beatdowns that they've gotten. In fact, the president in his letter stated that it was basically unacceptable that they lost so many times the Rocky Mountain Cup.
I didn't hear that. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I wish I had it up right now, but yeah, he basically said that because of the lack of meeting expectations, and one of those expectations was the Rocky Mountain Cup. Um, that was basically the reason for letting him go.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, um, no bueno, absolutely, like at all. Oh
No,
man,
and then with Robin Fraser losing his job, we have also the long list of other MLS coaches who have lost their jobs so far this season.
yeah. So I mean, he joins the list now. So
He, which
Robin
is not a
Fraser,
it's not a good list to be on at all.
no. So Robin Fraser joins the list of Gio Savarese, who
Hmm.
just barely got let go a couple weeks ago from the Timbers,
Hmm.
right before we played them.
Yep.
Um, Also on that list is Phil Neville from
Yeah,
Miami.
right before Messi and everything happened.
Right before I feel bad for Phil in that sense. It's like they never really wanted him.
It's okay. He's with MLS season pass now, so he's helping them out.
Um, which Javi ended up being the interim coach until Tata got there.
Yep,
Also, Toronto fired Bob Bradley,
that's right. That's right.
which for me was a slight surprise in the sense of because of his pedigree and whatnot, but he obviously wasn't helping them win anything.
Mm,
Chicago also fired their coach at the same time that New York Red Bulls fired theirs back in May. So there's been a lot of coaches on the chopping block this season.
that's true. It seems like more than we've had in past seasons. But I think I mentioned in the last episode, but the one that stands out of all of them that's lost their job is Savarese. Making it to two MLS Cup finals and then having a good record, but these past two seasons they've just struggled hard.
Yeah, in fact, you could almost pinpoint it to the decline of Valeri. Like
That's true.
When Valeri started declining is when uh, Portland started
And
declining.
along with that, having Blanco come off the bench now for them.
And Blanco has been injured, plagued with injuries for the past season or two. So, yeah, so it's been a rough go for the Timbers as well, which now begs the question because now we've had two different 4 game losing streaks this season for RSL.
Hmm.
Sandwiched in between there is a really good streak. There has been many talks in the first streak, if everyone remembers, and in fact, I don't think we even escaped it, but there was the hashtag Pablo out when we were losing 4 games in a row, two
That's
games
true.
in a row, 4-0. It
Yeah.
was just not good.
People
Then
were people wanting to burn down the right. I probably.
then we get this 4 game streak, um,
Hmm.
and slight talks of Pablo out start popping up again. Not as much as the first time, but they were still popping up.
Hmm.
Now, is it fair to even think about Pablo out or even letting Pablo go at this point?
No, no, I don't think so. Like, yes, we've had our moments this season where we had a very slow start at the very beginning of the season, where we were losing 4-0, 3-0 multiple times at home to St. Louis, and then we lost to Austin. And then we had just this recent 4 game losing streak. I don't think so at all. Because if you look back at our past two regular seasons, we barely made it into the playoffs on the very last day on decision day. This season right now, we have eight games or so left. We're sitting fourth in the West, so I think we're doing just fine.
Yeah, and and I guess maybe I should extend the amount of losing compared to games played. So since the Monterey loss, it was Monterey loss, Leon win, LAFC loss, Houston
Houston,
loss, Houston
Houston,
loss, Portland loss. So there's that 4 game, and then the Monterey. So out of 6 games, we lost 5 of them.
5. Yeah, that's correct.
So it wasn't a good streak for us. So can you understand where people are coming from with Pablo out, or do you think they're just nuts?
No, like I understand the frustration of wanting to maybe just ditch our coach right now and maybe start all over. But I'm like, we're already this point in the season where we're doing so well in the West, and it's like a new head coach. He's not gonna be able to. I guess it'll just be a hard transition for a new head coach to be able to keep going.
It's true. Um, I think if my memory serves me right, it was at this point of the season when Freddie abandoned ship.
Yeah, yeah, that's true because I think then Freddie was with Seattle in the playoffs.
Man, what a dog. Th- just like what you said, leaving a team at this stage of the season,
It's
especially especially when we're not doing bad. we're not doing bad, but
My my
we're in
my
the
thing
position
is,
we're at.
yeah, my thing is if we truly do want a new head coach, let's come back at the end of the season and then think about that. Right now, we need to just focus on the regular season and just go from there.
Yeah. Um, I'm with you. I am zero Pablo out. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yes, there's things that Pablo does that aren't the way that we want to see our team run with players in our formation or vice versa, but we just gotta suck it up and just live with it.
I mean, yes, he does stuff that we don't agree with, but he's not doing a bad job. He's doing a good job actually. He's doing a good job,
Yeah,
just not the style that we like. It's probably not the decisions that we would make, but at the end of the day, the results are there overall. It, we can't really
absolutely.
complain that I mean we're in fourth right now. Before the our good streak started, we were sitting at what 10th.
Yeah.
So I mean we could be bottom dwelling with LAFC or LAFC, LA Galaxy, Colorado, um,
Portland.
and Portland, but we're not. That's the reality. Reality is we're in fourth place. We're we hit a bad streak for X reason. We're starting to get back on track now. I think we're fine.
So I'll ask you this question. So with about 7, 8 games left in the season, it's one of those two. I should have that number memorized at this point, but
I think seven.
7. But are your expectations? Obviously, I think we will have a playoff game, but our expectations home, if like a four seed or higher?
Okay, so yes, playoffs are expected. Now it's whether we get home field advantage or not. See, that's a hard one for me. Only because I see what our remaining schedule is, and on paper, it
It's kind of a
looks
it's kind of a gauntlet, in my opinion.
really. I actually think it's quite the opposite. I mean, look,
We have San Jose, we have Dallas, we have Vancouver,
uh-huh,
and then who's after that? Kansas City,
LAFC.
LAFC. So those are all good teams that have been doing pretty decent so far in the West.
They are mid-table. So if you're looking at it, San Jose eighth, um, Dallas ninth, Vancouver sixth.
Yeah.
If we can get past all of them without losing, which means,
Hmm.
I mean, at least a point. If we can get at least a point between all of them, it just prevents them from moving past us. Or if even if we can get one of those wins. In fact, I'm going to say this: if we lose San Jose, we need to win the two at home. If we tie to San Jose, we can tie, but we need to win one of our two home games.
Yeah.
Either way, we need to have one win within those three before we hit LAFC.
Yeah.
Because LAFC, honestly, is going to be a really tough game, especially at LAFC.
And especially for RSL, I don't want to see us and LAFC on the same portion of the bracket because I think MLS came out with it today. If the playoffs were to start today, we'd be playing Houston, and I think LAFC would be right below us. So,
No, it'd be St. Louis,
oh, St. Louis, my bad. Yeah, you're accurate.
but
You're right.
still, you're like,
You're right.
I don't want that.
No, no. But a home field is what we should be pushing for moving forward because we haven't had a home playoff game in 4 years. It's been 4 years.
So yeah. So going back real quick, because I want this to be this is recorded, so I need everyone to listen to this. Um, we need 5 points out of our next three games, at least 5 points.
Yeah,
So 5 out of 9 points. We take an L to LAFC. We then win our last three games: Sporting, Galaxy, Colorado.
I think that's 100% doable.
So
So
that's 14 points to finish out the rest of the season. Would put us at 54 points.
yeah, that I don't see how that's not top four level.
Has to be. I
It
mean,
has to be
how many games I said we have left? Seven? 7 games?
seven 7 games left.
So that means 21 points, 14 points out of 21. I can't say it's bad because not bad. It's definitely 66%.
It's it's not passing.
Just saying it's 66%. If
Yeah,
someone wants
it's
to correct me on the math, correct me.
yeah, it's definitely it. We'll see what happens, but I do agree with your point where in these next 3 games, 5 points would be ideal.
Basically, don't get a zero game. Don't do
No,
it.
any losses at this point would suck. Would be terrible. So a draw, not good. 3 points, excelente.
Well, the only game that I think we are allowed to drop is the
Is
LAFC game.
yeah.
Boom.
But with that being said, let's get into some matches that happened today because although RSL does not have a game this weekend because of the international window, we did have RSL players playing in the international window today. Let's start off with our homeboy, Rubio Rubin.
Well,
Rep,
let's start off by saying that there's like three different tournaments going on right now.
that's true. We have
One,
World Cup qualifiers,
uh-huh,
and then what's happening in CONCACAF? It's the
CONCACAF Nations League.
Nations League. That's right. So we have Guatemala, with Rubio Rubin. We have Jamaica with Kevin Lambert. We
Hmm.
have Paraguay with Brian Ojeda. And then we got Venezuela with Jefferson Savarino.
Yes.
So we are loaded with international talent on this roster. So let's start off with Guatemala with Rubio Rubin.
You want to start off with Guatemala? Okay, let's start off with Guatemala. By the way, the Guatemala game, as we're
It
recording, already just ended.
it just finished. It ended 2-0, did it?
Yes.
So congrats, Rubio Rubin. They got the dub tonight.
Which is a really good result for them, especially in the group that, like you mentioned, the group that they're in Nations League is kind of a tough one.
They got Panama and Trinidad in that group. And
Yeah,
we saw how well Panama did in the Gold Cup. And they have RSL fans are familiar with. They have Carrasquilla.
yeah, yeah. So Rubio, he played a looks like a decent game. He played 77 minutes, so he started and played 77 minutes, which is a pretty solid amount of minutes, to be
Yeah,
honest.
absolutely.
But did not get a goal.
Hey,
Wah,
I
wah, wah.
I'm happy to see him get international time, international minutes. So
Right,
that's good for him.
especially so. Here's thoughts about CONCACAF. It's good for him to get minutes, international minutes against CONCACAF opponents
For
because
sure.
a lot of CONCACAF opponents play in the MLS.
Yeah, yeah,
So it gets him going on an international level, quote unquote, how to play better, how to position himself better for when he comes back and hopefully puts in a good puts in good minutes for RSL.
yeah. So cheers to Rubio and cheers to Guatemala for picking up the shutout in the 2-0 victory tonight. So to move first place right now in their standings. Let's move over to Venezuela with
Venezuela.
over to Savarino.
Yes.
So Venezuela and Sava did not have a great result, but Sava got the start for them tonight.
Yeah, so Sava got the start on the right wing for Venezuela. It wasn't a full surprise, but I'm super happy that he got the start. He came out playing really well. I was able to watch the first 20 minutes. His positioning on that right wing um, was very good. He had good play. In fact, through the first half, he was one of the best players for Venezuela, except besides their right back. Their right back was also really good because he had to hold uh, Diaz, which everyone knows plays for Liverpool.
Mhm.
Really good player. He also had to hold up Santos Borre, who just barely had a move to Werder Bremen from Frankfurt. Another great striker as well, even though Santos Borre is the one that scored the goal, the game-winning goal. Um, Savarino played really well. I was really pleased with his positioning. Unfortunately, though, his time did get cut. He only played 59 minutes. It wasn't due to any injury or anything, coaching decision. Um, my personal thoughts, because I've been around CONMEBOL qualifying for a long time. This is why Venezuela doesn't do as well, is because they take out their good players to put in quote unquote better players. But
Well, well, wasn't it for Joseph Martinez, or was that a different person?
so trying to think. Yeah, I'm figuring
So
it out as I go right now.
I think Joseph Martinez came in at that same time.
Yeah, so Joseph Martinez did go in at the same time, but I'm going to say you are correct, only because the other player that came in at the same time was Soteldo, and Soteldo
Mhm.
does play a winger position just like Sava, and they used to sub on for each other when they played at Mineiro in Brazil. So that's why I thought it might have been Soteldo, but I think you're right. It was for Joseph Martinez, striker for Miami.
Yeah.
Um,
So unfortunate result for Sava and Venezuela, but it's only one game so far. They got a lot left to go. For Paraguay, unfortunately, Ojeda did not get playing time tonight. And that one ended in a 0-0 draw, correct?
It did end in a 0-0 draw, but there were a couple of uh, two MLS standouts, one an ex-MLS standout and one a newcomer. Almiron did start for Paraguay,
Hmm.
and Gomez is a newcomer for Miami, another teammate of Messi. He had the start as well. But yes, 0-0 draw, no Ojeda. We can hope to see him next game, which
That's right.
is
Tuesday?
yes.
Tuesday. So we will see the clash of Sava against Ojeda on Tuesday.
Well, their two teams will clash. Let's just hope that Ojeda gets some kind of minutes against Sava. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be very, very cool. So stay tuned for that, RSL fans, on Tuesday. Anywho, the other RSL player playing right now in the international window, he doesn't play until tomorrow, Friday. If you guys are listening to this today, it is today, so Friday. Kevin Lambert, playing for Jamaica. They play. Who are they playing? Honduras. That's right.
Yep, yep. They're playing against Honduras, so Lambert does have a recent history of starting for Jamaica. He did that in the Gold Cup, so we hope to see him play. That'd be nice to see him get some minutes. He has gotten very limited minutes since he's gotten to RSL. What, like 2 or 3
Five
games ago?
5 minutes. I think he has like five or so minutes so far.
Yeah, ish. So um, we hope for the best. Hopefully, he comes back with some minutes under his belt and he's ready to plug it into some RSL time. Because again, we really want to see the Twin Towers.
I know. We picked him up from the USL, and he hasn't really had anything to show. So good luck to Kevin in Friday's game against Honduras.
Um, Speaking of MLS players,
Yeah, with there's the only reason why both of us are wearing this jersey is for one reason and one reason only, is Messi went off tonight, and Argentina, like it
all right,
was
I can't say Messi went off because it was actually kind of a meh game.
it you're you
I
are
don't want to.
right.
I don't want to. I don't want to break down this game because this isn't an Argentina podcast. If it
No,
was,
no.
this would be like 2 hour long shows.
No, but Messi did impress for that game-winning goal for Argentina.
Man, let me tell you that that man, he's a beautiful man. Um,
Yes.
so
The fact that people are now recognizing him and just in awe of what he's doing in the MLS, and like he's been doing this for years in Barca and with Argentina. It's like don't be surprised at what he's all of a sudden doing now.
you're prematuring my mini rant. Here we go. Mini rant. Ah, okay. So all I could see after, obviously after games, because during games I can't get on X. I like it's hard enough for me to tweet out RSL games because I just sit there and just watch. I just watch. I hate doing stuff on my phone. So I get on X after the Argentina game, and all I can see is a load of MLS accounts, whether they're official MLS accounts, fanboy accounts, but there's a lot of MLS related accounts
Yeah,
that won't stop talking about Messi because Messi is an MLS player. So all I see is, oh, an MLS player is going to win Ballon d'Or. MLS player is scoring goals in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers. MLS player is World Cup champion. I'm like, okay, my friends, if you are such a big fan of Messi, you should have been talking about him since his very beginning. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm jealous. And it's not that I want to hold Messi just for myself or just for the Argentines to really appreciate him.
for sure.
But and maybe all right, here it is. I'm just gonna say it. People are talking so much about Messi and MLS because they want to get clicks, because they want to get likes.
For
Um
sure. It's
and
it's it's all about the money and generating more views.
and it kind of ticks me off that they use him that way. I know he doesn't care. This is just this is triggering me. This is my trigger. Like, oh well, someone. Oh, there's a that picture of Finn from Tangled, where he's just sitting back like that, and
Oh,
all the
oh,
swords are like say one
yep.
thing that triggers someone. Yeah, Messi's my trigger. Like, don't talk bad about Messi, and don't don't use Messi's name in vain. It's that's what I feel like all these MLS fanboy accounts do is they just talk about Messi just to throw out his name just to get likes, just to get clicks, just to get attention. When reality, if you haven't appreciated Messi from goal number one in Barca, then I can't really take you seriously with how much you like Messi. I can understand you coming to the soccer stage late, sure,
Well,
but that still
welcome.
doesn't. Welcome. Hey, by the way, Messi exists. Um, for those of us that have suffered for so long with Messi, especially through 2006 World Cup, 2010, 14, 18, and then 22, finally getting it just, just stop talking about Messi if you don't know what it feels like to be in this jersey and hope for everything for him. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
anyways, sorry, that's a mini rant that could have gone on for a long time. I'm gonna leave it there. Amen. But
So
it was a beautiful goal tonight. Like,
it was a beautiful goal, and no better person to start off the World Cup qualifying for the whole world than Messi. He scores the very first goal. Oh no, not the
oh,
first goal, but no,
the
yeah,
second.
second. I just forgot Colombia, but yeah.
But yeah, it's in fact a cool stat came up. Listen to this for all you Messi lovers and Argentine lovers. The last World Cup qualifying cycle started with Argentina playing against Ecuador,
Hmm.
winning 1-0 with the goal from Messi. What happened at the end of that World Cup cycle?
Ah, we got to raise the trophy,
That happened. I'm just saying.
but
I'm just saying.
but of course, we already know in the next World Cup there will be no Messi, no Di Maria.
Oh, you don't know if there's no Messi. He hasn't said no officially.
But for sure, Di Maria already said he's not. He
Di Maria has said he's retiring after Copa America.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see.
If everyone remembers the phrase is "Anulo Mufa."
Anula Mufa.
No,
Anula Mufa.
Anulo.
Anulo Mufa.
There we go. It took you less amount of time this time.
Hey,
Oh
hey, hey.
goodness. Um, my friend, tell us where everyone can find us, talk with us, argue with us, love us.
See, todo mi gente. Follow us on X, on Threads, on Instagram. And if you're watching this video, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. And if you don't want to like look at my face or even Alan's face because it's bald, catch us on Apple or even catch us on Spotify if you are cool and have Spotify like us.
We're pretty cool. Any last words for the peeps?
Enjoy your weekend. It is gonna be a hot one because fall's just right around the corner, everybody.
This is the last heated weekend. So, um, Last thing, don't give up on soccer just because the FIFA break. Watch soccer.
Or, or if you don't want to watch soccer, watch tennis. But no, watch soccer.
Like we understand people are fans of many sports, multiple sports, but
but
we're
just but also just because college football's starting, don't just stick to watching soccer and soccer only at this time of the season.
that's us being biased. Anyways, that's all
But
from us.
until next time, we'll have more soccer to talk about. Okay? Awesome.
Sounds good.
Until next time, guys. Ka-chow!
Ciao.